Okay, so since we talked about JasmyCoin in the previous video, as you can see, we got this big move on the upside, and I want to be very clear. Just because in the previous video I said that I'm going to go long around the absolute bottom, and this happened to be some sort of a bottom in Yasmy, doesn't mean that I am right 100% of the time. If you are a new viewer, you should definitely know this. I'm trying to get it right 6 out of 10 times. This just seems to be one of those times that I happen to be correct. And even whether I am actually right 100%, and for example, we are going to get a big move up or not, something like this, that is still up for debate. So again, I want to be very clear. If you are a new viewer, you should know that I do get it wrong a lot, and I would say this was just a simple accident. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And before we start today's video, I need to tell you that for my members, I'm putting out a market update video, and in it, I'm going to tell them what is going on in Bitcoin and altcoin market and what could be next for the next couple of days and also couple of weeks. So if you want to have access to those informations, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. Let's get on with our video and see what is going on. And if you remember, the last time that we talked about Yasmy, we were somewhere around these areas, and I was saying, look, this is a very important region, and for so many reasons, I think you should actually go and watch the previous videos because I explained it all. I like to go long around this area, and my average purchase now is somewhere around 2.5 cents, and it seems like that we are getting a decent move on the upside. The question is this the strong bounce back that we all expect, and is this point right in here our absolute bottom? Well, you see, we did get a big move up, but I'm not really going to jump into any unnecessary bullish conclusion. So let's just take everything step by step and see what signs do we have in this area that makes us say, you know what, maybe the bottom is in. Let's start, shall we? Let's zoom in more. Okay, what do we have in this region before this move on the upside? A series of lower highs and lower lows. Now, the question is, when can we say that this downtrend is over? When we get a move up, and in it, we take the previous major pivot high, which in Yasmy, in my opinion, was actually right in here. And as you can see, in this move, we took this high. So this is, in my books at least, a very bullish sign. Now, if you believe that maybe this is not a major pivot high, instead is actually a minor one, then okay, naturally, I'm going to say you are saying this is going to be our major pivot high. So, okay, fair enough. Let's wait a bit more and see in this phase. Are we going to take this high or not? If we take it, then okay, at that point, we're going to be able to be bullish with quite a bit of confidence. So this is a simple analysis in terms of trends for you. Now, in terms of classic DA, meaning support and resistances, well, okay, not only we got a solid bounce back from this very important support, but we also managed to get back above this one as well, which is also a fantastic sign. So again, in terms of classic TA, this is another great sign. And I don't know if you like classic patterns. If you do, we talked about this thing before. In my opinion, this can be a very classic wedge structure. Excuse me, there we go. There's our higher line, and this can be our lower line right in here. And what happened? It seems like that in here we got actually a break of the wedge. So these are all bullish signs in JasmyCoin, and the main point that I believe I made in the previous video was this. Look, in Yasmy, we really do have a habit of getting people angry and frustrated with these types of moves on the downside, which will fall into a wedge structure, but our bounce backs are actually quite strong. And if you don't believe this, okay, let's zoom out more and actually copy this fractal right in here. And I think I also did the same in the previous video. You see, once more, I believe in JasmyCoin, we actually had something like this. Let's just adjust the size. Excuse me. Okay, as you can see, these types of moves on the downside in Yasmy do actually happen quite often. So that was kind of a very important reason for why I said, in my opinion, this is actually a correction. And after it's over, we're getting probably a big move on the upside. Now, let's talk about my field of works, Elliott's waves. You see, if you want to argue in terms of Elliott's waves, we are going to have our final bottom around here. Maybe this is like a very important support. Then okay, you must be able to find off of the lowest low a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure up. This specific example is a normal 5 wave. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4 and in any kind of impulsive structure. Wave 3 should not be the smallest wave, and for our subwaves, we must be able to find 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. Let's change the colors, excuse me, there we go. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different possibilities, doesn't really matter. Let's say, yep, sure. An ABCDE, a triangle into wave 4, and a WXY into wave 2. And again, if we can find this structure off of the lowest low in JASMY, we are going to be able to be bullish with quite a bit of confidence. Now let's go on the live chart, and I think we need to go on some seriously lower time frames. And I want to be very clear, normally in my own analysis, I don't usually go on such lower time frames, but this is just for the sake of educational purposes, so I'm thinking it's fine. Let's zoom in more and hide everything and see where is going to be our lowest low. It seems like, yep, it's actually right in here and not this one. Okay, let's just do this and see what is going on. Here is what I have in my mind. I believe this can be 5 up into a wave 1, probably correction for wave 2, decent move up into wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. And this is very important. I need you to pay full attention to what I'm about to say. Ideally, in JasmyCoin, I want to see a correction structure, which is going to take, let's say, a couple of hours, and then another move on the upside, because at that point, I can tell you with quite a bit of confidence, this is 1, this is 2, this yellow 5 wave up is actually into a wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. Now, question for you. Does this mean that right in here is a long opportunity? Well, if you are a regular viewer, you probably know it. Absolutely 100% no. Why is that? Because what happens after a 5 wave up? You know it, a correction structure on the downside. This move for me is really, really important. If we're gonna have a correction down in JASMY, a slow and choppy move on the downside, fair enough. This is actually a fantastic bullish setup, and at that point we can say, oh, but probably the bottom is in right in here around 2.3 cents. So for now, we are looking good in JasmyCoin. Don't get me wrong, but let's not jump into any unnecessary bullish conclusion. And finally, I want to answer one of the viewers' question. Okay, so I believe this video was actually the one which in it I said I'm going long in JasmyCoin, and you guys said with so many people invested at lower cost, do you think they will let the price fly too far before the moves are shaken out? I'm starting to believe chart analysis is pointless at the moment with all the obvious manipulation. Okay, that's kind of fair enough. Let's go on the live chart and see what is going on. You see, in the previous video, I believe I said that JasmyCoin does have a habit of making people angry and potentially shake them out of the market with these types of moves on the downside. Now, this is, I believe, the most infuriating kind of a correction structure. Why is that? Because sure, we are having a slow and choppy move down, but we are going down nonetheless. For example, if you go on Bitcoin's price chart, you can see that in a lot of correction structure, we're not actually having a wedge. Instead, we are having a triangle, and we are just seeing some consolidation pattern like the one that maybe currently we are doing. And this doesn't usually make people angry. Why is that? Because the price is not going down. However, in a falling wedge, not only this move is choppy and slow, but also this is going down. And that's why I think it's the most infuriating move. But does this mean that we are seeing a lot of manipulation in this area? I don't really think so. In my opinion, the current move down that we are having in JASMY is actually kind of normal, and for now at least, I'm not really seeing anything out of the ordinary suggesting that there are some manipulation in here going on. No, in my opinion, this is just a simple correction structure, and after it's over, or maybe it's over already, we are going to start the next major phase of the bull run, and in it we are going to take the highest high in this region for the first target around 6 cents. But I told you before, I do not believe that we are going to stop there. No, I think we're going to go quite a bit more higher than that. And at that point, I think a lot of people are going to talk about this absolutely beautiful and magnificent cup and handle structure, which according to this thing, the targets are going to be at least somewhere around the 10 cents area. So, if we take this side, the next target makes sense to say that it's going to be right around here, which from the current point, that can be about, let's say like a 200 to 250% move on the upside. And I do think it's actually possible. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's video. In the current bounce back that we are having in JASMY, we are definitely seeing some bullish signs, but let's not be absolutely 100% bullish. Let's just wait a bit more until this move up is over and see, are we going to get a move down in form of a correction structure, which means are we going to have a choppy move on the downside or not? If we have something like this, fair enough. At that point, we're going to be able to say with a decent amount of confidence that the bottom is in right in here. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in JasmyCoin's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.